Hi guys. Oh, my voice. Sorry. Hi guys. I can't speak too loudly at the minute. Yeah, things have sort of flared up a little bit, but I've actually got some quite big news today, and anybody that is watching my other plant-based channel, my gardening sort of channel, I guess, hope it grows, then you might already know about this. But I wanted to make a long video on this channel just to talk about some of the things in a bit more detail. So yeah, I am actually going to be going next Tuesday to an inpatient centre that help people basically with severe ME and focus on their rehabilitation. So I'm going to be going for 12 weeks, so 3 months. So it's going to be quite an intense program, but I'm hoping to be able to come out the other side quite a long way advanced in terms of progress that I can make physically. So yeah, a little bit of a backstory is that back when I was really quite severe, so having to be spoon-fed and basically completely bedbound, I couldn't sit up, I couldn't, had to wear a blindfold and earplugs and stuff quite a lot of the time as well, and I couldn't talk. Yeah, we were sort of looking around for things, potential ways to get help basically, and this was one of the places that came up. So it's called, and before I say the name, I know that a lot of people, it might kind of trigger a lot of people, including myself back when I first heard about it, but I guess I might explain that a bit later. But the name is Leeds, what is it? It's the National Inpatient Center for Psychological Medicine, so NICPM, and it's in Leeds, so it's a bit of a mouthful to say that. And it's essentially they call it a ward, but I think it's actually 8 small individual rooms, and each room has a bed in with one person in, and 4 beds are reserved for people in Leeds, and the other 4 are for people in the rest of the UK, or it might just be England, I'm not entirely sure, so don't quote me on that. But so yeah, we applied for basically you have to get funding from your local funding body, which I think is like an NHS group. You have to get funding from them, and then they pay this ward in Leeds, because it's not actually an NHS service. I think it's closely, I think the NHS work closely with them. I'm not too sure, to be honest, on the relationship between them, but I know that it is technically a private place, it's a private ward, but I think it's NHS endorsed. And yeah, so because of that, you have to get funding for it, and you have to get it from your local funding body. So we applied for the funding way back, like I said, when I was quite severe and sort of unable to do anything, and we had kind of assumed that I would get the funding because I was quite an exceptional case back then, not in a good way, but yeah, unfortunately they didn't really see that. And like I said, it's because you have to get funding from this funding body. It wasn't actually Leeds that didn't want me to go. They, we'd contacted them, and they had given us all the information and said, you need to get funding now, and basically they would have taken me in, but it's the local funding body that refused. And obviously they're not specialists in ME, and they have doctors on their team obviously, but I think it's just the case with the illness, and it is still so misunderstood, and it just doesn't get the sort of treatment that it needs. So yeah, we got refused, and that was quite a heartbreak back then, because I was really, every day was just a battle with the pain. It was just like, how much longer can I just hang on? Because I just had to keep thinking like, tomorrow's going to be better. You know, it's going to feel better tomorrow. It's going to be all right tomorrow. And it never really was, obviously, but yeah, so we applied, I think we applied straight away after we got refused. And, you know, I think we had prepared some other stuff with our GP to kind of help influence the decision and things like that. Oh, sorry, I'm getting quite sort of worn out just speaking about it all. But yeah, we applied quite soon after and we got refused again. So we applied one more time. This was about a year ago, I think, maybe just over a year ago. And to our surprise, we got accepted on that time. And I think it was because the doctors had basically said, look, his pain meds are going up and up and up and up. You know, this isn't sustainable. We can't, there's nowhere else to go. And at that point, the funding body was sort of like, okay, he's probably an exceptional case. Now, obviously, since that time, I have made a lot of progress. So I had assumed that because back in June, I got a letter from Leeds. So this is, you know, after I'd got the funding secured, but then I got a letter from Leeds, and they basically said the waiting list is going to be about 18 months. And that was another huge like heartbreak, because so I was 25 and a half when I got the letter, so I would have been 27 before I'd even get the chance to go in. And I had just assumed that by that point I would have made enough of my own progress to then not qualify for the funding anymore. So I would have still probably been like housebound and quite ill, but well enough not to qualify for the funding. So I had basically put out my mind. I thought it's just not going to work out. But we got a call last week, and for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because of COVID or something else, they had a space open up, and they said, do you want to go? And I'm like, absolutely, like, just sign me up right now. You know, it's what I've been kind of dreaming of for years, just, you know. And I don't know if I've said this in other videos, but maybe it isn't too wise for me to say it now, but I had actually planned to get someone to take me to Leeds and just leave me there, like outside the hospital or somewhere in Leeds, and I would have refused to give my name or any information about me and just say, I need help, you know, I've got severe ME, I need help. And it sounds kind of stupid, but there were times when I was so close to just going. I remember one night in particular where I was in so much pain, and I was just talking to my mum about it, and I was just like, I'm gonna go. Like, I can't do this anymore. Sorry. But yeah, so yeah, it was really difficult. But yeah, we got a call last week, basically just saying like, there's a space open up, and he asked us loads of questions first, basically about my condition. So I gave him a bit of an update about what I'm able to do now. But he, despite the fact I made progress, he was just like completely for it. You know, that didn't seem to be a concern for him. If anything, he thought that was brilliant, because it meant that when I get there, I'll be able to do a lot more. So yeah, so I'm going to be going next Tuesday for 12 weeks. I think it's 12 weeks minimum. I think they rarely let people out sooner than that. But sometimes if they need more time, then they basically reapply for funding, you know, more funding. I don't think I would get more funding. I barely got the first lot, but yeah, I'm hoping I wouldn't need more than 12 weeks to, for me, I want to just prioritize. I want to be able to wash, because I can't, I can only really wash like my hands and a few other places, but I can't get in the shower or bath or anything like that. So that's priority number one. Priority number two is just being able to walk around sort of freely, so not have to like count my steps and have a walking stick and all of those things. Priority number three is to be able to cook, because I can't do that. Well, no, I know how to cook, like not as like, I don't know, what ingredients and stuff, but like physically I can't stand up for long enough to be able to like chop stuff, and so they're my three priorities, because once I hit those three, then I'll be pretty much independent. Like, I won't need care from my mum or my brother or my partner. So so yeah, that's what I want to focus on, and that's what I want to come out the other side having obtained. So in terms of what it is, I think it's going to be a mix of graded exercise, physiotherapy, cognitive behavioural therapy, and medication changes. So so I know that there's going to be a lot of people out there that will be extremely against the idea of graded exercise therapy, and so was I back in the day. I was adamantly against it. I just thought it doesn't make sense. I'm not here because I'm not in this position because because I don't want to exercise, or I'm not in this position because it's difficult to explain. It's not through like laziness. It's not through not wanting to. It's not through you don't get ill because you rest too much. That's essentially it. That's not what causes the illness. It's the payback that you get. So if I do an exercise, I get a huge amount of pain and fatigue and everything from doing that exercise. That's one of the main sort of features of the illness, is like this this payback or delayed fatigue or pain, pain or whatever it is. So the idea of graded exercise didn't make sense in my head, but to me now, basically, I know from experience, like as soon as you stop doing those things, you just lose the ability to do those things. So for me, because I went to a clinic way back when I was like just housebound, but I was still up and about. I went to a specialist ME clinic in London called Optimum Health Clinic, and basically they said, just rest. You need to do all the calming down and all of that stuff, but you need to just rest. You need to like rest it out, and it will go. Unfortunately, not only did that not work in my case, but it's actually really dangerous advice, because that isn't what actually helps. There's obviously a certain amount of rest that you need to sort of take. Like for me, I can't obviously just get up and do stuff, because I will get that payback. So there's always a balance, but for me, resting it out just didn't work, and I quickly lost the ability to walk, lost the ability to do anything really, really rapidly. So it's really dangerous advice, and it was only through graded exercise that I ever got back some of what I had lost. But don't get me wrong, graded exercise is not really treating the illness, it's just treating the lack of ability to actually do stuff, like the physical side of it. It doesn't, like, it never took away my pain. My pain's still here. It might, I don't know too much about fatigue because it's not my main symptom, but I don't think that doing more is just going to make you less fatigued. But at the same time, what we do physically is such an important part of the illness, because it is the difference between me just laying there in bed not being able to do anything all day versus me being able to do some things. I'm not being very articulate in trying to describe this, but I don't want people to feel like massively put off by the idea of graded exercise, because it's not about like pushing. It's just about finding what you can do already, and then just gently, letting those boundaries expand, sort of all within your own time. And that's what I think people sort of misunderstand the most. It's like, it feels like doctors are telling us just to do more, but what they're saying is like, find what you can do without causing any more pain and fatigue, and then just gently like expand those boundaries, gently try a little something else. So I think it's going to be all of that stuff rolled up into one. It's going to be some graded exercise components, and then cognitive behavioural therapy, physiotherapy, and then I think really changing the medications around is probably what could help my pain the most in the short term. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure like exactly what they offer, and obviously I will find out. But I just wanted to make this video to let everyone know, and just before I say anything else, I guess I'm going to be driving them crazy, to be honest, by the end of my stay, because I'm going to be basically asking them, why is this service not offered elsewhere in the UK? Like, if it's helping people with severe ME, why is it not offered elsewhere? I know it's resource intensive, but if you've got people with severe ME that are on benefits for like 20 years or something ridiculous, the government are having to pay all that money to this person just to stay ill, when they could be paying that money to a service like this to actually get people better, and I don't think it's going to like cure me. It's not going to be some sort of magical intervention where I come out and I'm fully healed, but it's going to get me back to living, hopefully, somewhat in a normal sort of way. And I'm hoping that after I come out, eventually, maybe hopefully within a year or so, I might be able to get like a part-time job or something, and just start living the rest of my life. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm definitely going to be questioning them a lot on why this service isn't offered elsewhere, and hopefully when I am a lot further along the road of recovery, I'm going to be sort of pressuring MPs to change how the illness is treated, and hopefully try and get people, more of these resources available to people, because I can't tell you how immensely relieved and grateful I am to have this experience. And so yeah, thanks for watching. I know it's been a really long one today, but I really wanted to kind of give it the sort of attention to detail that it needs. And the last thing I'll say is that if they let me, I don't know if they will let me at the minute, but if they do, I'm going to be trying to film quite a lot of the process there, a lot of my recovery. So again, I don't know if they will be too happy with that, because like I said, they are a private ward. But if they let me, then I'm going to be trying to capture as much as I can, and we'll see how it goes. I might do a few videos like this and release them whilst I'm there, but if not, then when I get back, so a few months time, then I can release a few videos to sort of describing what happened and how it helped and things like that. But yeah, my voice is just yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you're all well, and I'll try and reply to any comments, but the next week is going to be a bit of a rush because we've had such short notice. Sorry, a bit of a hiccup. That I've got to pack stuff and sort stuff out and get ready for it, because I think it's going to be quite a life-changing experience. So yeah, I'll try and keep this under 20 minutes. So yeah, I'll speak to you guys later, and yeah, thanks for watching.